Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Let us chant one round of japa with Srila Prabhupada. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare 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 Ram. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Madhavendrapuri ki jai, the disappearance day of Srila Madhavendrapuri ki jai, Shantipur festival ki jai. Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrind ki jai. Hare Krishna. Dear devotees, welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam for all session. Let's recite Bhagavad Gita shloka. So today is the disappearance day of Srila Madhavendrapuri. Coincidentally, or you can say by the mercy of the Lord, in our daily reading of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, we are reading exactly the same thing. So the chapter that we have been reading for the last few weeks is Sri Madhavendra Puri's devotional service, and especially yesterday and today, well, for you it is yesterday, and for me this morning, and yesterday we were reading about, or maybe yesterday, we read about Madhavendrapuri's visit to Advaita Acharya's house. And a few weeks ago or several weeks ago, we read in Chaitanya Bhagavat reading, in the Antya we were reading, when Mahaprabhu accepted sannyas, he visited Shantipur first time. And also, yes, Mataji, Krishna reciprocates several times. Just in our classes, we see it so many times. And uh, so in Chaitanya Bhagavat, we read about the festival that was actually observed by Advaita Acharya in Shantipur in honor of Srila Madhavendrapuri. And that year, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was present during the festival, and he was so pleased. This festival was observed on such a large scale. Advaita Acharya, his house had so many rooms. Each room was filled with, like one room was filled with only bananas, another room filled with coconuts, another room with rice, another room with dal, ingredients. And then on such a large scale, cooking was going on. Kirtan was going on continuously, and prasadam was being served. All this happened in Shantipur. So every year in from ISKCON Mayapur, devotees are brought to Shantipur in buses, several buses. It's just there's no registration or anything. Anyone, right? They just invite everyone to come. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that anyone who honors prasadam in Shantipur on that day, anyone who serves prasadam to others, or anyone who chants the holy name or hears the holy name on this day, on the disappearance day of Srila Madhavendrapuri, all of them will receive love of Godhead. That was the benediction. So to give love of Godhead to everyone, so you can see the compassion of Advaita Acharya. That's why Advaita Acharya, well, he was doing this. He was in glorification of Madhavendrapuri. He was celebrating this festival. And after Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that, so now from ISKCON, every year they take so many devotees to serve and also to honor Prasad, but so many thousands and thousands of visitors come from around the villages, and they are offered prasadam. They cook. They cook right there. So yesterday, Nilamari Mataji was saying, so I saw that today. We went to Shantipur today. I was not sure if we'll be able to have the class today, but we came back on time. And I mean, everything was so wonderful. I mean, we were forbidden from taking any cameras, I mean, phones or cameras or money, because so many people would be coming, thousands and thousands. So they said there will be high chances. And in the past, it has happened, stealing and pickpocketing. So they said, don't get anything. So I just went with my bead bag. That's all. And, but it was such a blessing. I thought I'll share that with you. So just a few things about Shantipur. So when you go to Shantipur, you will see Advaita Acharya's house. So it is that. So now there's a temple there. You will see Advaita Acharya's Shri Vigraha, and also next to that is another temple of where you will see the deity of Srila Madhavendrapuri, and also they have Radha Krishna there. So they stand in long lines just to take darshan of Advaita Acharya. Mm. And then in very long lines, the lines are, I mean they're much longer than the lines in Mayapur when you see during festival, Gaur Purnima festival. The lines that you see for Guru Puja, they go outside the courtyard and out of the courtyard also, if you've been. But this is even longer, and they have separate lines for ladies and men, and they have One line is for those who want to go and serve prasadam, they want to do service. And another line is for those who want to go and honor prasadam. And then there is a stage set up where there is katha going on. And then there are so many shops set up like a mela outside, right? There are so many little shops uh, and then there's one stall where devotees are just doing kirtan. It was just a wonderful festival. So, Shantipur. So, there are several occasions we hear about Shantipur in Chaitanya Leela. First is when Sri Advaita Acharya called out to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to Krishna, to please descend. So he was calling out to the Supreme Lord, worshipping the Shaligram Shila, right? And meditating on the descent of the Supreme Lord. That was in Shantipur. And another occasion we read in Chaitanya Bhagavat, if you remember, once Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. So Advaita Acharya was teaching this. He was teaching Yoga Vashishta, right? He was teaching Mayavad philosophy because Advaita Acharya always looked at Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Krishna, as a supreme Lord, and he saw himself as a servant. Whereas Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always honored Advaita Acharya uh, like the god brother of his spiritual master. Advaita Acharya is a disciple of Madhavendrapuri, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's guru, Ishwarapuri, is also a disciple of Madhavendrapuri. So that way, Ishwarapuri and Advaita Acharya became god brothers. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would respect Advaita Acharya like his guru, and Advaita Acharya didn't like this. So uh, he Mahaprabhu would always offer obeisances to him, respect him, and Advaita Acharya wanted Mahaprabhu to correct him, to chastise him like you would do to your servant. So what did he do? In Shantipur, he went away from Navadvip and he went to Shantipur, and there also there is a temple of Haridas Thakur, and it's written there Haridas Thakur got initiation from Advaita Acharya here. So I didn't know that, but you will see there Haridas Thakur also. Uh, so uh, yeah, so Advaita Acharya is preaching this Mayavad philosophy to catch the attention of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He would become mad, he would become angry, and he will come and punish. That's one thing that the Lord would not tolerate, Mayavad philosophy. Because Mayavad philosophy means it's the greatest insult to the Supreme Lord. It pains the Lord's heart so much. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took Nityananda Prabhu once, saying that let's go for a walk. So they go walking in the town of Navadvip, and they come to the banks of the Ganges, and they visit the home of this so-called sannyasi. So there's a pastime that takes place there, and then when they find out that this sannyasi who looks like a sannyasi actually has a wife, and then he's offering them wine. What kind of sannyasi is this? So they just jump in the river with their clothes on and then swim across and come to the other side. And then they go to Shantipur. And there in Shantipur, when they arrive at Advaita Acharya's home, Advaita Acharya is uh, he's teaching this Mayavad philosophy. When he sees Chaitanya Mahaprabhu coming, he becomes even more enthusiastic, and he's very loudly preaching, very strongly preaching the Mayavad philosophy. Haridas Thakur was also in the audience. Haridas Thakur understood Advaita Acharya's mood. So he was just laughing, listening to Advaita Acharya preach the Mayavad philosophy. But when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived there, uh, Gauranga, he didn't take sannyas yet. So at that time he's known as Nimai or Gauranga. So he saw him so angry as he was listening to Advaita Acharya preach. His anger was getting, he was getting more and more angry. And then he said, Advaita, which is superior, impersonal philosophy or bhakti? And then Advaita Acharya said, Impersonal philosophy is always superior to bhakti. Or it was more like, is the absolute truth personal or impersonal? In the ultimate issue, what is superior, the personal form or the impersonal Brahmajyoti? So Advaita, of course, the impersonal Brahmajyoti is superior. That is the ultimate form of absolute. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard this, he was so angry. He just jumped onto the stage on which Advaita Acharya was sitting, dragged him down, from the stage, and he started punching him, beating him. And then uh, his wife got scared. Even Haridas Thakur got scared seeing Mahaprabhu's anger. So he just went and hid in the next room out of fear. And Sita Thakurani, the consort of Advaita Acharya, was pleading with Mahaprabhu, please, please, stop beating him. He's an old man. He's going to die. Please, please, spare him, don't kill him, like that. Then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just left Advaita Acharya there and went and sat still angry. And then Advaita Acharya was in great ecstasy. He was jumping and dancing, clapping. And he said, where is all the respect that you were showing me all these days? Hmm? Now you have proved that you are my master and I am your servant. Like that. And when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Lord Gauranga understood that this was all Advaita Acharya's trick, he felt ashamed. So that's one pastime that took place. So Nityananda Prabhu was there at that time, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there, Advaita Acharya. So several times in Shantipur you will see all three of them together. So that's one occasion, or this is the second occasion I told you. The third is when Mahaprabhu accepted sannyas. After he took sannyas, uh, he decided to go to Vrindavan, and uh, he went up to Radha Desh, and then he turned around, Radha Desh, and he turned around. Instead of going further, he just turned around, and he was thinking he's going to Vrindavan. And Nityananda Prabhu tricked Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He had some cowherd boys misguide Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu towards Shantipur, saying that Vrindavan is here. And Nityananda Prabhu also, was following Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu is thinking, I'm going to Vrindavan. So he saw Nityananda coming. He said, Nityananda, where are you going? He said, I'm going to Vrindavan with you. Okay. And then, do you know how far is Vrindavan from here? And Nityananda Prabhu says, oh, uh, here is the river. We are here. We are in Vrindavan already. You see the river flowing? So Mahaprabhu thought, oh, this is the river Yamuna, right? And then immediately he went and he offered obeisances. And he sees there on the boat Advaita Acharya coming. And he wondered. He actually said, Advaita, what are you doing here in Vrindavan? How did you know that I came to Vrindavan? And Advaita Acharya said, my lord, this is not Vrindavan. This is Shantipur. You have come to, and this is not Yamuna, this is Ganga. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was surprised and he said, oh, Nityananda has tricked me, right? And then Advaita Acharya said, no, no, actually he didn't lie to you, because the western and eastern side, right? I forget, I get confused. The west, which is west and which is east. But on one side of that river is Ganga and the other side is Yamuna. So he didn't lie to you. This is actually known as Yamuna only. And then he said, please come to my house, take some prasadam, and you're wearing, because Mahaprabhu got into the Yamuna taking bath, that, he has arrived in Vrindavan, he got, so his kopin, his, whatever he was wearing, it was all wet. So he knew. Nityananda Prabhu sent one devotee ahead of time, Chandrasekhar Acharya, to inform Advaita, bring some dry clothes for Mahaprabhu and, arrange for his prasad and all that. So Advaita Acharya said, he gave dry clothes and he said, my lord, please come home and take some prasadam. I have not cooked anything elaborate, very simple. right? So at first Mahaprabhu wouldn't go. He said, no, like I'm a sannyasi, like that. No, very simple. I just have like one handful of rice and some liquid sabji, you know, like that. Nothing much. Very simple, just so that. And then you haven't eaten anything for 3 days. You've been traveling, right? You didn't get any prasad. Please come take some prasadam at my house. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to um, Advaita Acharya's home, this place in Shantipur. And oh, such a prasadam Advaita Acharya and his consort Sita Thakurani prepared. And so many hundreds of vegetables, and like rice, and so much prasadam, very elaborate shak. I think like 20 types of shak he prepared, and shukta and everything, like various cakes made with dal and buddy, and so many varieties of preparations he prepared. And he made a nice big plate, for, first of all, on a silver plate for the deities, and then on banana leaf plate, a mound of rice, one for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one for Nityananda Prabhu. Such a feast. And every day Advaita Acharya arranged, so during the day, so after the feast and everything, in the evening there would be Sankirtan, and all the local people would come. And then people from other villages, when they found out that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu here, they came. And there was such Sankirtana, and Advaita Acharya would just dance in ecstasy after doing all that cooking. And he was arranging for accommodation for people who were coming from other villages. He called for all the devotees from Navadvip. He arranged for Sachimata to be brought to Shantipur. And when she came, it was right there, the loving exchange between Sachimata and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then she requested that let they may allow her to cook for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for as long as he is there. She requested Mahaprabhu to uh, not go to Vrindavan, but to make his headquarters Jagannath Puri, because devotees are always from Bengal. Devotees are always going to Jagannath Puri and coming back. It's not so far away, so she will get to hear about the. She would get to hear. She will get some news about Mahaprabhu's well-being, so that will keep her alive. But he went to Vrindavan. It is so far away. She wouldn't get any news, and she couldn't. She wouldn't be able to survive. So then Mahaprabhu agreed to please her. Uh, so then she said, "All of you will be going to Jagannath Puri. You will see him on so many occasions. I don't know if I will ever get another chance to see my son. Please allow me to cook." Everyone was more than happy, and she cooked for him there in Shantipur. Mahaprabhu stayed there for 10 days, and every day was a feast, not just a feast for Mahaprabhu and all the people. I don't know how many people came who came there. There was a feast for everyone, and there was Sankirtan every day, such a festival in Shantipur. So that was one occasion. And then, as I told you, the other occasion was again. So this time Mahaprabhu went back to Jagannath Puri, and the next time he made another attempt to go to Vrindavan. And when he went, so many thousands of people would follow him, because he would be in such ecstasy. Just seeing him, people would get attracted, regardless of whether they were Hindus or Muslims. They would just get attracted, because that is, Krishna means all attractive. He attracts everyone. And they would just follow behind him. Wherever he went, he would be surrounded by thousands and thousands of people. So when Mahaprabhu arrived in, what is that place? Not Remuna, where Rup Goswami and Sanatan Goswami met Mahaprabhu. Ramkeli, Ramkeli. Yeah. So at Ramkeli, when Mahaprabhu arrived there, Rup and Sanatan, well, they were Dabir Khas and Sakar Malik, the ministers of the Muslim king. So they came at night, disguised, and they met with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There's a nice discussion there. We don't have time to discuss all that. I'm just giving you a gist of the pastimes that took place in Shantipur. So the others, I'm not going into details. So there at Ramkeli, Rup Sanatan Goswami requested Mahaprabhu to not go to Vrindavan with such a crowd. This is not the way to go to Vrindavan. You should go alone, at most with one servant, one companion, not with so many people. This is not correct. So then Mahaprabhu took that advice and he turned around and he came back again. He went back to Jagannath Puri. On the way back to Jagannath Puri, again he stopped in Shantipur. And so at that time, there's a loving exchange between Advaita Acharya's son, Achyutananda, and Mahaprabhu. Uh, because just before Mahaprabhu arrived, one person had come there. Uh, one sannyasi or someone had come there. And then Advaita Acharya would host anyone who would come, he would host them, you know, serve them nicely, feed them prasad, any sadhus would come. But this sadhu would not accept any alms. He said, I want an answer to my question. Your answer would be my alms. Unless you give an answer to my question, I will not take any prasad in your house. I won't accept anything. So Advaita Acharya said, all right, ask me a question. So the sadhu asked, uh, what is who is Ishwarapuri? What is Ishwarapuri's relationship uh, with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Who is Ishwarapuri to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Now Advaita Acharya became thoughtful. Advaita Acharya is thinking, how should I answer this question? It can be answered in two ways. It can be answered from the material uh, platform, in the material sense, and it can also be answered from the spiritual sense, in the spiritual sense. Then he decided, first I will answer from the materials, in the material sense, and then I will give the answer from the spiritual point of view. So he said, Ishwarapuri is the spiritual master of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's the relationship. As soon as Advaita Acharya said that, he had a small, his youngest son. He was 5 year old, not even wearing any clothes, or maybe even younger, not wearing any clothes. He was just playing there in the dirt. But when he heard his father say, Ishwarapuri is the spiritual master of Advaita Acharya, he came running and he said, Father, what did you say? You said Mahaprabhu has a spiritual master? How can you say that? He is the supreme spiritual master. If you speak like this, you are the leader. If you speak like this, then what to speak of everyone else? Everyone will be misled. They will accept your words. So when Advaita Acharya, and he was really angry. He was very angry at his father that he said that. Little boy, when Advaita Acharya heard that from his son, it was as if he was splashed by nectar, right? He felt so happy. And then he immediately picked up his son. He embraced him and he kissed him and he was weeping. My son, you are my spiritual master. You are my spiritual master. You are not my son. I am not your father. You are my father. Right? He said, you are right. No. How can Chaitanya Mahaprabhu have any spiritual master? And he's weeping and embracing. And meanwhile, this sadhu is seeing this loving exchange between father and son. And he said, like father, like son. How wonderful. And then he got the answer. And then he accepted alms at Advaita Acharya's house also. At that time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived. Soon after that, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived there. And still this whole thing was going on. And when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, Advaita Acharya was, he was weeping. Dandavat obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was so much in separation from the Lord after he took sannyas, because Mahaprabhu is now residing in Jagannath Puri. And Mahaprabhu, when he saw Achyutananda, he just picked him up and embraced him and, bathed him with tears of love. Later on, this Achyutananda, he went and joined Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri. When he grew a little older, he went and joined Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this pastime took place in Shantipur, and at this time only, in this visit only, again Mahaprabhu spent a few days in Advaita Acharya's home, and there this festival on the disappearance day of Madhavendrapuri. So today, when we were there, or maybe this was in the temple, His Holiness Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj said that generally, in the calendar it says it's the disappearance day of Madhavendrapuri. That may be, but also it's a coincidence that today is the day when Madhavendrapuri arrived at Advaita Acharya's home. When he visited, today is the day when he actually came to Advaita Acharya's home. And also it's the disappearance day, so maybe both happened on the same day. So Advaita Acharya celebrates this festival on a grand scale. And this time Mahaprabhu was personally present and he witnessed this festival. So if you want, you can read it in Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat Antya Khanda. Um, I can look up and tell you which chapter is probably the second chapter, second or third chapter, Antya Khanda. We don't have time, otherwise I would have read it. But that is there, and also whatever I have told you now, I just gave you like an overview. You can read all these chapters in Chaitanya Bhagavat. They're there, and in Chaitanya Charitamrita about Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 4, Madhavendra Puri's devotional service. All glories to Srila Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri, even in Adi Leela Chaitanya Charitamrita, we see Madhavendra Puri is so exalted, so exalted. He is the root and the trunk of the tree of devotional service. Lord Chaitanya's tree of devotional service. Madhavendra Puri is compared to the root and the trunk. That means everything else, all others are branching from him like that. And in another case, at another place in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said that once in Rath Yatra, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was reciting a verse, singing a verse, and that verse sounded like a love song, right? Uh, you know, a lover being lovesick, in separation from his beloved, is singing this song, right? So something like, my heart is yearning to meet you once again, or seeing all these kadamba trees and uh, the moonlit nights. Once again, I'm remembering the days when I spent with you on the banks of the river, like that. So it just sounded like, you know, someone in love, right? A young person who's in love is remembering his beloved. Nobody understood what that song meant. There it is said, there's only three people who understood the depth, the meaning of that song. Who are the three people? One is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who was singing it himself, he knows it. Two is Srimati Radharani, because Mahaprabhu is actually Krishna with the emotions and complexion of Srimati Radharani, the bhava of Srimati Radharani. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and of course Srimati Radharani. The third person who understands this, who understood this, is Madhavendra Puri. Can you imagine how exalted is Madhavendra Puri? Only Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, not even Krishna. Only Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna, but in a special form. Krishna in the mode of Srimati Radharani. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srimati Radharani, and Madhavendra Puri. Only these three people understood the depth of that. So that is the position of Madhavendra Puri. And other many, we will also hear about Madhavendra Puri's meeting with Nityananda Prabhu in Chaitanya Bhagavat. So all that we won't discuss today. Specifically, I wanted to tell you about Shantipur, Madhavendra Puri's festival in Shantipur. So I wanted to share that with you. Now we will recite the verses also. Okay? Yes, Saujanya Mataji.
Mataji, for every person, there is a, like, who was that person in the past? Like that we have, right? Like that. Who is Madhavendra Puri, like that?
Who is Madhavendra Puri in the spiritual world?
Yes. Like, how we have Brahma, is Advaita. Or I don't know if I'm mixing up. I keep getting confused.
Yeah, I don't remember. I'll have to check.
No problem.
Yeah, but I can actually look up right here and Madhavendrapuri M first. Okay. Biography. Do you want me to read about Madhavendrapuri, or do you want me to? We have about half an hour left. Do you want me to read this, or do you want me to just continue with our daily thing, whatever I told now, that much, and just do a little bit of what we do every day, read Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita? I mean,
Mataji, I was just thinking, oh, it's so nice to know so many things about Madhavendrapuri.
so read more. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I felt, but I will leave it to
Others,
rest.
yeah. So if anyone else has your any opinion, you can please share. Or let's do it this way. How many of you, please raise your hand, want me to read Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, which we do every day, so that we keep the continuity? Please raise your hand. Others, please put your hands down. And then how many of you want me to read Bhagavatam today? Okay. How many of you want me to read something about Madhavendrapuri today? Just raise your hands. 1, 2, 3. Okay, everybody wants. Great. Let's do that then. Today's class is dedicated to Srila Madhavendrapuri. Very good. Okay. So then if I read, I think it will come somewhere. It will come. We have usually we have several biographies. Sometimes it's a repetition, but we may not have time to read it all. As much as we are able to read, we can read. But I'm just looking for Madhavendrapuri's identity in the spiritual world. Are you raising your hand, Mataji, or is it just when I asked Saujanya Mataji? Did you have a question or something?
Oh no, I forgot to lower my hand.
No problem. Okay, these are all pastimes only. Okay. Yeah, when we look in Bhakti Ratnakar, that's where we'll see. Last time. Okay. One more. This is the last. If we find in this, it's good. Disciplic succession. Yeah, in this world. I didn't come across Mataji.
No problem, Mataji.
Okay, so let's just read whatever we can. Okay, this is the Madhavendrapuri. Before Lord Chaitanya appeared, he sent his eternal associates like Sri Advaitacharya, Sri Jagannath Mishra, Sachi Mata, Madhavendrapuri, Ishwarapuri to earth. Sri Madhavendrapuri took initiation from Sri Lakshmipati Tirtha in the Madhvacharya Sampradaya. He had many, but Sri Advaitacharya and Sri Ishwarapuri were the chief disciples. Okay, Advaita Acharya and Ishwar Puri were the chief disciples of Madhavendrapuri. In one way or another, all the Vaishnavas in Bengal and Kshetra, means Puri, Jagannath Puri, Sri Kshetra, Kshetra Mandala, Jagannath Puri, were connected with Sri Madhavendra Puri. After Lord Chaitanya came, many of his disciples joined Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement. Whose disciples? Madhavendra Puri's disciples. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu manifested his Sankirtan movement, many of Madhavendra Puri's disciples joined Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Madhavendra Puri's body was completely full of divine love. So were his followers. He displayed uncommon love of God. Seeing a dark blue rain cloud, he would fall down unconscious. Day and night he was intoxicated from drinking the ambrosia of Krishna Prema. This is from Chaitanya Bhagavat by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. After making an extensive pilgrimage of Bharat Bhumi, India, he passed his life in Vrindavan and Orissa. He began the restoration work of Vrindavan that Sri Rupa and Sanatan Goswamis continued later. So Madhavendra Puri is the spiritual master of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's spiritual master. So he is much before, right? He was there. He appeared much before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay. Wandering from grove to grove, remembering Radha Krishna's sweet Vrindavan pastimes, Madhavendra Puri would faint in ecstasy. In a dream, Sri Gopal ordered Madhavendra Puri to uncover a buried Gopal deity and install him atop Govardhan hill. Madhavendra Puri celebrated Gopal's installation with an Annakuta, grand festival offering a mountain of foodstuffs to Krishna. This Annakuta festival, also called Govardhan Puja, is one of the most important Vaishnav festivals in Vrindavan in India and around the world. The original Gopal deity, known as Srinathji, is now worshipped in Nathdwara, Rajasthan. Madhavendra Puri introduced the conception of Madhurya Bhava. So this is very important. Up until Madhavendra Puri, so this is the disciplic succession, Madhvacharya's disciplic succession. So Madhavendra Puri accepted uh, initiation in Madhva Sampradaya. But before him in that Sampradaya, there was no one knew about the Madhurya Bhava. Nobody worshipped Krishna in Madhurya Bhava. So you see, devotional service is in different rasas. There is Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. So the more advanced a devotee, right? So Madhurya is the highest. So for someone to come to that level, he should have that much. You understand what I'm trying to say? It's like a postgraduate stage, right? Someone who's qualified with that type of, you know, bhakti can actually come to that platform of Madhurya Bhava. So all the previous acharyas before Madhavendra Puri, nobody worshipped Krishna in Madhurya Rasa. That Madhurya Bhava began, worshipping Krishna and Madhurya Bhava was introduced by Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri introduced the conception of Madhurya Bhava, conjugal love, in the Madhvacharya Sampradaya. Madhavendra Puri sowed the seed of Prema Bhakti, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became the towering tree, dropping honey sweet fruits of Prema upon everyone. Okay, so Madhavendra Puri planted the seed of Prema Bhakti, and that seed grew into a big tree. Who is that tree? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became the towering tree that was dropping honey sweet fruits of Prema upon everyone. He also revealed Viraha Bhava, the mood of, so Madhavendra Puri also revealed Viraha Bhava, the mood of love relished in separation from God. So, like the gopis. So, in fact, the love of the gopis was unknown in this unknown in this world. So that was brought by Sri Madhavendrapuri. So he also revealed Viraha Bhava, the mood of love relished in separation from God. His branch of the Madhva sect distinguished itself by this ecstatic love of God. So there's also the Tattvavadis. In Madhva Sampradaya, there are the Tattvavadis. They are different. Madhavendrapuri's line within Madhva Sampradaya, Madhavendrapuri's line is distinguished by ecstatic love of God. It is known as the Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. That is why we don't call ourselves as the Madhva Sampradaya. Our Sampradaya is Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. In Jagannath Puri, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed an intense mood of Viraha Bhav. This increased unlimitedly when the Lord heard verses from Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, Krishna Karnamrita, Gita Govinda, Padyavali, and the love poems of Chandidas and Vidyapati. Mahaprabhu's Viraha begins with a single verse spoken by Madhavendra Puri, his Param Guru, grand preceptor. This is the verse. Ai Deena Dayadra Natha He, Mathura Natha, Kadavalokyase, se, Hridayam Tvad Aloka Kataram, Daita Brahmyati Kim Karotyaham. O compassionate Lord of the poor and humble, O Lord of Mathura, when shall I see you again? Without seeing you, my heart has become very much afflicted. O my beloved, I am overwhelmed. What shall I do now? So, this was actually, Lord of Mathura, this is actually what happened was when Mahaprabhu recited this verse, there was no mention of the name of Krishna or Mathura or anything. It just looked like some young lover like that. Then, understanding this, Srila Rupa Goswami wrote another verse where he actually used the words like in Yamuna and Krishna like that. But originally, this verse which is recited by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, originally it was sung by Madhavendra Puri. So, what is it being said here? Yes. So this verse was spoken by Madhavendra Puri. O compassionate Lord of the poor and humble, O Lord of Mathura, when shall I see you again? Without seeing you, my heart has become very much afflicted. O my beloved, I am overwhelmed. What shall I do now? This is Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, chapter 4, text 197. Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj says that as the diamond Kaustuba jewel is the most precious amongst all rare valuable jewels, this shloka is the Rasa Kavya, the best verse in the entire treasury of Rasa poetry. This verse is the best verse in the entire treasury of Rasa poetry. Actually, this verse was spoken by Srimati Radharani herself. It was Radha's pathetic cry to Shyam Sundar, who had gone to Mathura, leaving her alone, desperate in Vrindavan. Radharani's mercy brought this same verse from the mouth of Madhavendra Puri. Reciting even a few words of this shloka would tear open the door of Mahaprabhu's ecstatic love, making him swoon in ecstasy, falling unconscious. Feeling intense separation from Krishna, Madhavendra Puri constantly chanted this verse when departing this world. Krishnadas Kaviraj says that with this verse, Madhavendra Puri teaches devotees how to achieve Krishna Prema by cultivating intense feelings of separation from Sri Krishna. Gaudiya Vaishnavas accept that this verse expresses the essence of the mood of separation. The Gaudiya Sampradaya teaches that worship of Radha and Krishna in separation represents the highest level of devotional service. At this stage of realization, the devotee feels completely vacant in the world in the absence of Krishna. A moment without Madhava feels like a millennium. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always swam in the ocean of Divyonmada Mahabhava, the maddened ecstatic emotions shown by Sri Radha in Brahmar Gita. Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, Chapter 47. In this verse, Madhavendrapuri discloses similar emotions. The Gaudiya Vaishnavas conclude that the monsoon shower of ecstatic love exhibited by Lord Gauranga. The Gaudiya Vaishnavas conclude that the monsoon shower of ecstatic love exhibited by Lord Gauranga during his manifest pastimes began with Madhavendrapuri. So actually, everyone came to know about it after Mahaprabhu. But the seed was sown by Madhavendrapuri. Madhavendrapuri was already experiencing this ecstatic love of prema in Madhurya Bhava. The Gaudiya Vaishnavas conclude that the monsoon shower of ecstatic love exhibited by Lord Gauranga during his manifest pastimes began with Madhavendrapuri. It then came through Ishwarapuri, who played the role of Lord Chaitanya's spiritual master. Madhavendrapuri's Samadhi is in Remuna, Orissa, near the temple of Kirchor Gopinath. So we have some more time. We can read one more. Okay. Madhavendrapuri biography. During Nityananda Prabhu's tour of all the holy places of India for the purpose of purifying them, by the will of Providence, he happened to meet Madhavendra Puri Pad somewhere in western India. When Nityananda Prabhu saw Madhavendra Puri Goswami, he fainted away in a swoon of ecstatic love, and his transcendental body became completely still. Similarly, when Madhavendra Puri gazed upon Nityananda Prabhu, he completely forgot himself and fainted to the ground. Sri Gaurachandra used to repeatedly remark that in relishing theme, in relishing them, wait. Sri Gaurachandra used to repeatedly remark in relishing the mellows of love, in relishing the mellows of love in devotion. So, what are the mellows of love in devotion? Various rasas. The mellows of love in devotion. There is no one to compare with Madhavendra Puri. That means he relishes, like nobody can relish the mellows of love as much as Madhavendra Puri. When the disciples of Madhavendra Puri, headed by Ishwarapuri, saw their spiritual master and the Prabhu, which Prabhu? Nityananda Prabhu. When they saw Madhavendra Puri and Nityananda Prabhu fallen in a faint of ecstatic love, they began to cry. Gradually, Nityananda Prabhu and Madhavendra Puri got back to their external consciousness. When their eyes opened and they again got sight of one another, they put their arms. When their eyes opened and they again got sight of one another, they put their arms around each other's necks and cried tears of joy. Then they began to roll in the sandy earth, carried by the waves of ecstatic love, while rending the sky with their loud roaring. As the river of love began to flow from their eyes, Mother Earth considered herself to be blessed in being flooded by that inundation. With the appearance of the transformations brought by bhava, trembling, tears, and standing of the hairs on end, it could be understood that their bodies had become a place of pastimes for Chaitanya Gosai. Nityananda exclaimed, "Today I have received the fruit of all my travels to the holy places. In seeing the feet of Madhavendra Puri, I have received the treasure of love of God, and thus my life has become blessed." Madhavendra Puri continued to embrace Nityananda Prabhu tightly to his chest. He wanted to say something, but his voice was choked up due to experiencing intense emotions. Ishwarapuri, Brahmanandapuri, and the other disciples of Sri Puri Pad present became completely enamored by Nityananda Prabhu. Some other pilgrims were present at that place, but due to being devoid of devotion, they couldn't understand what was going on and continued to converse amongst themselves. The devotees felt some sorrow to see the behavior of those dull headed brutes, so they retreated into the forest to be rid of their company. So, just to note here, when just like we know when before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, Advaita Acharya would see that people didn't have love of, they were not interested in bhakti. They were simply after material opulences. So, seeing this, he would feel so sad. Madhavendrapuri and all his disciples, they were so heartbroken. They didn't want to see the faces of people who had no devotion in them and who had no interest in devotion. So, what did they do? They stopped traveling amongst people. They would just live in the forest, in the jungles all the time. They wouldn't come to places where people were residing. Never. They would just be in the forests all the time. They just retreated because they didn't want to even look at the faces of people. So they were not in, you know, uh, societies. They would be in the forests. So the devotees felt some sorrow to see the behavior of those dull headed brutes. So they retreated into the forest to be rid of their company. When they were alone together again, their distress was destroyed and they continued to relish the mellows of Krishna Prema. In this way, Nityananda Prabhu and Madhavendra Puri spent some days together in the happiness of Krishna Katha. Madhavendra Puri's love of God was very uncommon. Simply upon seeing a dark rain cloud, he would fall down unconscious. Day and night he imbibed the spirituous liquor of Krishna Prema and thus remained intoxicated, sometimes laughing, sometimes crying, sometimes raising a tumultuous hue and cry. Nityananda also behaved just like a madman, falling down on the ground, his body agitated by waves of ecstasy. As lava belches forth from a volcano, loud laughter erupted from his mouth, while his whole body, as if in the throes of a great earthquake, trembled violently. Never before having seen such unprecedented displays of ecstatic emotions, Madhavendra Puri's disciples continuously remained engaged in Hari Kirtan. No one knew whether it was day or night. Having become completely absorbed in the mellows of Krishna Prema, the days were passing, though it seemed to them that not even a moment had elapsed yet. Whatever was discussed between Madhavendra and Nityananda is known only to them and Sri Krishna Chandra. Who else is capable of understanding such subject matter? Madhavendra Puri was unable to give up Nityananda's company, and so he continued to roam about, keeping Nityananda with him. Madhavendra Puri told his disciples, "Never before, anywhere in all my travels to all the holy places, have I ever seen such love as this." That means such love which Nityananda Prabhu has. I could understand that the Supreme Lord is merciful to me when I got a friend like Nityananda as my close companion. Whenever one gets his association, that place becomes the sum total of all holy places and non different from Vaikuntha itself. Whoever simply hears about, whoever simply hears about him, about whom? Nityananda Prabhu, will definitely get the association of Sri Krishna Chandra. And whoever bears even the slightest enmity towards him, though he may be a devotee, is not dear to Krishna. In this way, day and night, Madhavendra Puri praised the attractive qualities of Nityananda Prabhu. So these statements, which are very famous, right, are actually said by Madhavendra Puri. If one gets even a slight association of Madhavendra Puri, then that place is the sum total of all holy places. Anyone who simply hears about Nityananda Prabhu, right, he will definitely get the association of Lord Krishna. And if anyone has the slightest enmity toward Nityananda Prabhu, then he cannot become dear to Krishna. These were said by Madhavendrapuri. Lord Nityananda respected Madhavendrapuri as his guru and always behaved with him in that relationship. After traveling together for some days, finally Nityananda Prabhu set off in the direction of Setubandha, while Madhavendrapuri started for Sarayu. Having lost contact with the external world, neither of them was aware of his own body. In order to maintain body and soul together, they thus remained in these transcendental states of consciousness. If in external consciousness, they would cease to live. You understood? So they couldn't live without each other. Then how they were living, how they could be separated? Only because they were not in external consciousness. They were not aware of who is with them and who is not with them. Right? So they were not aware of his own body. So in order to maintain body and soul together, they thus remained in these transcendental states of consciousness. Because if they were in external consciousness, they couldn't live without in separation from each other. At the time of his departure from this world, Madhavendrapuri was completely absorbed in separation from Krishna and constantly repeated one shloka. This is at the time of departure. This verse is considered by Gaudiya Vaishnavas to be the essence of expression of the mode of separation. Among his associates and disciples were Sri Advaita Acharya, Sri Pundarik Vidyanidhi, Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Sri Ishwarapuri, Sri Paramanandapuri, Sri Rangapuri, Sri Ramchandrapuri, Sri Narasimha Tirtha, Sri Raghupati Upadhyay, Sri Sukhanandapuri, among others. Madhavendra body is totally imbued with divine love, as are his followers as well. He takes nothing other than the juice. So, what is the food of Madhavendra? He takes nothing other than the juice of the mellows of love for Krishna as his foodstuffs. Thus, his body has become the place of pastimes of Sri Krishna. Chaitanya Bhagavat, Adi Leela, chapter 9, 155. His worshipable deity, Gopalji, is presently residing at Nathadwar in Rajasthan and is worshipped by the followers of Vallabhacharya. So, that was about Srila Madhavendra. We have two more biographies, but it's already time, and I know you have to go to work and school. It's a small one. Maybe we can read this one. Maybe. Madhavendra Srila Madhavendra appeared in the 14th century. 14th century. He was a guru of the Brahma or Madhva Sampradaya, one of the four Vaishnava lineages that purify the world in the age of Kali. Madhavendra was the disciple of Lakshmipati Tirtha. Madhavendra disciples included Ishwarapuri Advaita Acharya Paramanandapuri, a Brahmin from the Tirhu area, Brahmanandapuri, Sri Rangapuri, Pundarik Vidyanidhi, Raghupati Upadhyay, and others. Nityananda Prabhu is said by some to be Madhavendra disciple. Others say that Lakshmipati was his guru, while the Prema Vilas states that he was Ishwarpuri's disciple. At the time of his departure from this world, Madhavendra was completely absorbed in separation from Krishna and constantly repeated one shloka. This verse is considered by Gaudiya Vaishnavas to be the essence of expression of the mode of separation. So these are quotes from Vaishnava Acharyas. Madhavendra was a well-known sannyasi of the Madhva Sampradaya. His grand disciple was Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prior to his appearance, there was no evidence of Prema Bhakti in the Madhva line. In his verse, Ai Dina Dayardhanatha, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 4, 197 text. The seed of the religious doctrines of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can be found. So who said this? Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. The next quote is by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. Madhavendra was the first shoot of the desire tree of divine love that came out of the Madhva lineage. Prema Bhakti, right? So he is the first shoot. Prior to his appearance, there was no sign of conjugal mood of devotion in the Madhva line. The feeling of separation from Krishna or transcendental Vipralamba is the only practice by which the spirit soul can achieve perfection. Material feelings of separation give rise to a despondency that reveals the attachment one has for matter, whereas the despondency that results from the feelings of separation for Krishna are the best proof of one's desire to bring pleasure to his senses. The desire to bring pleasure to Krishna's senses, shown by Madhavendrapuri, the great soul who is the root of this movement, is the ideal example to follow for anyone who wishes to serve the Lord. It is especially worth remarking that Mahaprabhu and his close followers later adopted this example and made it their standard. This is by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So this pastime we will see in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. I will not read this. Please, if you want, you can read it from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela chapter 4. How, beautiful pastime of Madhavendra. And let's see, there's one last one, how big it is. Okay, let's just cover this also. So we would have covered everything. Madhavendra, Mahaprabhu's seniors, his parents and gurus are all his servants and eternal associates, and they take birth prior to his appearance in order to serve him in their own way. Whenever Krishna descends to the earth, he first sends down his elders. These include his father, mother, guru, and all the other persons he considers to be the objects of his respect. He arranges that these persons should accept birth before he does. Madhavendrapuri, Ishwarapuri, Sachi Mata, Jagannath Mishra, and Advaita Acharya are amongst those who appeared in this way. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adilila, chapter 3, text 92 to 94. Later in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the same thing is stated in the following way. Whenever the son of the king of Raja decides to appear on earth in order to fulfill a particular desire, he first sends down his seniors. I will briefly name some of them as it is not possible to mention everyone. Sachi Devi, Jagannath Mishra, Madhavapuri. Madhavapuri means Madhavendrapuri. Keshav Bharati, Ishwarapuri, Advaita Acharya, Srivas Pandit, Acharya Ratna or Chandrasekhar Acharya, Pundarik Vidyanidhi and Haridas Thakur. So this is the disciplic succession. Srila Madhavendrapuri appeared in the 14th century. He was a guru of the Brahma or Madhva Sampradaya, one of the 4 Vaishnava lineages that purify the world in the age of Kali. The Madhva lineage has been transcribed in books like Gaura Ganodesha Deepika, Prameya Ratnavali, and the writings of Gopal Guru Goswami. The same set of verses is found with some slight differences in the Bhakti Ratnakar. The following is the version as found in the Gaura Ganodesha Deepika. So this disciplic succession you will find in Bhagavad Gita. Introduction, when you read, the last page has our entire disciplic succession. Okay. Thus, Madhavendrapuri was the disciple of Lakshmipati Tirtha. Madhavendrapuri's disciples included Ishwarapuri. Yeah, that list also we read already. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes, Madhavendrapuri was a well-known sannyasi of the Madhva Sampradaya. His grand disciple was Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that also we read. Yeah, that also we read. Okay. This also we read. Yeah, so we covered everything. So they are repetition, whatever we covered. Srila Madhavendrapuri Pad ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
So that was about Srila Madhavendrapuri, and today is the disappearance today of Srila Madhavendrapuri. Thank you all, dear devotees. From tomorrow we will continue our regular schedule. We'll read Bhagavad Gita Shloka and Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji.